4 teams, and we have got 2 amazing matches ahead of you today. Joining me on the analyst desk, I am lucky enough to be in the presence of Mr. D-Man, Uber Shouts, and Reinforce, our resident pro player, down at the end. Gentlemen, how has this event treated you? We are on the final stretch.
I mean, it's been a long road. I mean, where do we start? I mean, it all starts back at opening week, really, when we had our 4 groups now of 16 teams in total battling it out there. And, you know, we obviously got to here now, seeing these teams in the top 4. Some are a surprise a little bit, maybe some not so much of a surprise. But we have an incredible couple games set up for today. It's been a lot of amazing games behind us, so it's only upwards from here.
Mitch, it started even earlier than that. Your mind is obviously going in your age. We started off in the qualification process for these 2 teams, especially Sweden and Finland are going to be coming up a long time ago. It seems such a long road for these guys. Obviously, started out technically in the voting process when poor old Johnny never got into Sweden.
You're looking at the past, I'm looking at the now. We're going to have 2 great games today. I'm just looking forward to this amazing day of Overwatch.
Yeah, we've got a Scandinavian Stouch coming up, and of course, the big event, the main final coming up after that. It's going to be fantastic.
It's going to be truly amazing here. We, I think at the very beginning, thought that this Finland-Sweden matchup might have been our final. Certainly not the case. We are going to see South Korea and Russia face off in the finals later on. But let's talk about our Finnish team first. These guys brought so much heart, a team full of pro players, and they've executed less strategy, more individual, you know, kind of showmanship, I think.
I think they were disappointed with yesterday's result, no doubt about it. They felt they had a solid game plan of how to deal with Russia, and it just never executed the way they planned it. They felt they had decent counters to Shadowburn, but as we saw yesterday, Russia is not just all about Shadowburn. The rest of the team all stepped up.
Yeah, it's a qualitative kind of strategy. They're like, yeah, we're just going to kill Shadowburn. It's like, okay, do you have a flow chart for this? Is there any depth to this strategy? Otherwise, it just comes off fairly gimmicky. And we can see that Finland were trying to deal with Shadowburn in that regard, but there were other holes and maybe a lack of depth in general in the roster, which in my opinion actually is quite rich in terms of hero pool and available strategies.
Yeah, I think today they have a reset a bit. They're disappointed versus Russia, of course, but coming in today, I think they've reset a bit. I think they're looking forward to this third place decider, and I think they've sort of reset their minds, and I think they can actually pull out a win versus Sweden here today.
Absolutely. They're going up against Sweden, though, and this is another roster that has been really impressive throughout the tournament. Sad to not have Reinforce on it, but lucky enough to have 6 players who are pretty incredible, including IDDQD there. He's been doing the interviews and sharing some insights into his team.
Probably the most balanced team we thought coming into this one, which is why Sweden were kind of stacked ahead of Finland in terms of who would be favourites, because obviously Finland are coming in with almost 6 DPS players, obviously a couple of them are flex, but Sweden are coming in with basically a balanced pro team roster, and they should perform better than they have, I felt. A little unlucky with the draws, obviously, but that's all down to the fact that they lost in the group stage to Spain.
And Sweden's problems have gone outside of having the right players in the right roles, because they do have them here. The problem is that you can't really just play a cookie cutter strategy or stick to sort of one approach when you go up against such a variable pool of teams with different strategies of their own. We talked about the problems with the hero pool, the interactions between that. Tvik is a very versatile player, but to unlock someone like Tvik, your other DPS player needs to be able to play a range of different heroes. And the fact of the matter is, IDDQD, an excellent Tracer and McCree, his Reaper has been lacking, and that has held this team back.
Yeah, I've been very critical of this team throughout the tournament. I've seen mistakes in their lineup, and I wanted them to fix it, but it's very easy to sell these guys short. They went up against South Korea, obviously the toughest matchup in the tournament, and they put up a pretty good performance, I say. Tvik was amazing, so I think this is a team, you know, they're top 3. I mean, we have to enjoy them today.
Have you seen any mistakes from Coco? You know, just saying, you know, just putting it out there.
Nah, he's a tank player. I'm not gonna throw any tank players under the bridge.
Isn't that when you sort of throw people off the bridge? I don't know.
That's
like,
tank player solidarity. That's beautiful.
Maybe that's what you guys do, but I'm a tank player.
Tank players stick together. It's a hard enough world for them as it is. But I mean, important to point out that Linksa, we've seen him mostly play Reinhardt. He actually was the flex tank player for Dignitas for some time. We did see some Winston from him, so there's a bit of variability in there. I don't necessarily know if we'll see Coco really switch off the Reinhardt at all. There are options for these 2 teams. They know each other extremely well, maybe too well in some cases, and I think that's going to influence this match. I think it's also, we might see something a little bit more different, maybe laid back. We do know the Germans, for example, they completely mixed around their comp when they sort of knew they were already out of groups and were playing that last game. So there's a chance there for something exciting, something a little bit fresh and new.
Yes, it is a very interesting topic, this tank, actually, because Link's coming into the tournament, he's new, of course, to playing Reinhardt, but think he's been doing well, you know, overall. But going up against Coco is a completely different game, because Coco, as I mentioned, is a very passive Reinhardt. And when you're Lynx coming into this tournament, you know, you're pretty impatient, you know, pretty undecisive, you know, what do I want to do? Do I want to charge? You know, should I just stay back? So playing with just a passive Reinhardt, I think he will stress out a bit, you know. He will do things that he doesn't necessarily want to do, you know, because he's impatient, and he'll just be surprised.
Well, you guys have brought up a whole bunch of interesting players to keep an eye on in this next matchup, and that brings me to our next topic, which is the T-Mobile MVP. You can use hashtag T-Mobile MVP and the battle tag of your favorite players. Let us know who you've been watching, who you think has been the MVP of each match. That's going to be important for this matchup, but that's going to be key for our finals matchup. So remember, vote for each match, and gentlemen, I think our teams might be ready. Are you guys ready? Do you guys want to give me quick predictions before we go into this? Finland
well, we already
versus
had Johnny.
Sweden?
And Johnny, you reckoned Finland, didn't you, already? You've gone
What?
pretty deep in.
What?
Okay, so if Finland takes one of the payload or assault maps, I think Finland will close it out on the control maps. But I think either Sweden will have to win 2-0 or they're going down 2-1.
Well, it's Hanamura, Route 66, and Nepal, isn't it? These maps?
And I think Finland can take one of those, and I think they'll close it out on the control Nepal map.
All right, well, our teams are ready, so let's hop right into this match. We'll see if your prediction comes true, Reinforce. I'll give it to our casters. Take it away.
Thank you, Rachel. I got to agree with Reinforce. I think Finland probably takes this. I think it'd be a bit of a surprise. You know, both these teams, such rivals, but when we spoke with Finland earlier in the week, this match definitely meant a little bit more to them.
Absolutely, and I could see it going both ways. I will say, just talking to some Sweden members earlier, where really they don't want to lose to Taimu. Remember, there are 2 members of Envious on there, and they have to go back and live with Taimu if they end up falling to Finland. And I don't think the members of Envious on Sweden, they definitely don't want that.
No, and I think the one place that you could see Sweden take control is with Coco. I think taking advantage of Lynxer, a newer player to Reinhardt, could definitely prove to be a great 4-team Sweden. You can see the maps in this series. It'll be Hanamura, Route 66, and Nepal to round things out. I think Tavik versus, you're going to be looking at him going up against Taimu. I think that's a fantastic matchup as well. Going to be seeing if Tavik can keep that strong play going.
Absolutely, and I would expect both of them to get into it pretty often, where Taimu very likely be playing his trademark McCree quite a bit here in the series, and he will be looking to shut down Tavik, especially if we see Tavik come out on something like a Genji.
And I just find it like a crazy scenario where, you know, coming into the Overwatch World Cup, we expected both of these teams, I know obviously maybe a gold or a silver, and one of them's going to go home without a medal. That is such a shocker.
It is a little bit of a shocker, especially given what we thought these teams would do coming in. But hey, Russia came out really, really strong. And South Korea, of course, just a dominant force. But I got to tell you, X, I've seen those medals. Those medals look amazing.
Oh, yeah. They're pretty sick. You definitely don't want to go home without one. It'll be Sweden on defense. Tavik will be going with May, and you'll see IDDQD going to go with McCree. So obviously, I think May is a crucial pick here on Hanamura, especially on the defensive end.
Absolutely. The thing about May is that she can control that opening archway, and Tavik, one of the better players in the game at using May to her potential. But we take a look at the Finland offense here. This is not too surprising if Taimu decides to stick with it. Unfortunately, he's not. He was flirting with the idea of going for Widowmaker, but he's going to go for the tried and true. Finland just going to try and break this open with Nano Boost, Death Blossom shenanigans.
It'll be Finland on offense here in our 3rd place decider. It'll be Taimu on Reaper, Himsy on May. So you do see a little bit of a switch up. We've seen Himsy play Roadhog quite often, but Taimu's really going to need to be big for Finland here, the opening break. And you see they're actually going to get past the May wall. So the May wall comes in a little late from Tavik on Sweden, and you're going to see Finland take the high ground.
And that's a big, big win here for Finland, where they do get past that May wall. They weren't exactly running a composition that was good at getting past the May wall, so Tavik had an opportunity there. It's gone, and now Finland taking the high ground, really setting up a good positioning. They're going to have a wall of their own as they just rush down the opposing Reinhardt.
Yeah, Himsy with a beautiful wall there. They're going to catch Coco out of position. It's going to be Taimu able to pick him up. Cindy's going to pick up Zebasai. So you see both tanks go down there for Sweden. This is looking great for Finland.
Absolutely, and then again, it just comes down to control. Sweden did not have the control they were looking for. Finland played it methodically. They caught out Coco, and everything went well for them from there, where this is going to be a very clean take of point A.
Yeah, it started with that late May wall. from the side of Sweden, and Finland's able to just break in with ease. And now you look, they have the nano boost going in this next fight. It looks like they're going to get the sound barrier as well. And Sweden, they just have the Deadeye on IDDQD, so this could be really bad for Sweden here in our first map.
Absolutely. The momentum that Finland has right now is incredible. They do almost have that sound barrier up. They're about to have Graviton. They have Nano Boost, but Sweden, they do have a trump card. They have Blizzard from Tavik, and Tavik very good at using it to his advantage in situations like this where this team is otherwise outgunned.
And you see Taimu on the point, just trying to work down these tanks, and Coco's going to dive in. The Blizzard comes in from the side of Sweden, but everybody falls for Finland. But it's a little bit of an interesting strategy there from Finland. A lot of times we see teams go up, try and take the high ground. Right there, they rush straight to the point, and they bait that Blizzard out.
They do bait the Blizzard out, and they saved all their ultimates. That was actually, I don't think Finland was actually trying to win that fight. I think they just wanted to get rid of the Blizzard. They're going to have to deal with Graviton and other things here, but this still might work out for them. They have a very strong push coming. Their war chest is pretty much full, so we'll see how this works out, where IDDQD is on the high ground, but looks like Finland's going to come straight up the gut.
Yeah, and they have all the tools to do so. I mean, Zappis has the Nano Boost, they have the Earth Shatter, and they have the Graviton Surge. So you see it's going to be Finland just rushing straight to the point. IDDQD with a fantastic shot there, taking out Zappis, and they actually land the Nano Boost on the Linkser, but he falls, and now you're actually going to see Coco push forward with that Earth Shatter, and it's going to be another hole there from Sweden.
That might have been a very quick two-tap from IDDQD, and the thing is that I think he got that pick-off before the sound barrier landed, saying he waited a little bit longer, trying to get maximum value out of it, but while he was doing that, IDDQD already had Zappis locked in, so it sort of ended Finland's push right then and there. And now Finland, they do have 5 ultimates up, they will be missing the sound barrier, so they still have options here, and oh my goodness, X, I think they're just going to keep going straight up the middle. Who needs to go on the side anyway?
I was just going to ask you, well, why do they just keep going straight up the gut? Is there not a reason they're taking this high ground?
I don't really know. Maybe they just feel like Sweden is already camped up there and they feel they can do better just getting on the point and applying pressure, making Sweden come to them. But Blizzard is up now for Tavik. Tavik is going to be able to control a lot of this fight. And Finland, even though they have so many resources here, actually, they really haven't used them in quite a while. They're just waiting for the perfect opportunity, but that can be dangerous.
Well, now I feel like they're realizing they're kind of trapped on that left-hand side of the map, and you see Tavik going to wall off the opponents. Going to be now taking the high ground is Finland. Tavik just trying to get in a proper position to use this Blizzard. It seems like Finland has no idea what they're trying to do. First they go low, then they go left, now they're going up top right. And now you're going to see the Blizzard come through, and it's going to be the Graviton Surge as well. Sweden picking up lots of kills, but that's a big Earth Shatter coming in from Linkser. He's not going to get anything for it, though. He only gets 2, but he's going to fall right after. Not a good push there from Finland.
Finland threw good money after bad there. They were already in a terrible position, and they still threw ultimates through that Blizzard. Not something they should have done there. And I gotta say, the way Finland's been playing it reminds me of watching a hockey game where a team's on a power play and they just keep passing instead of taking shots on goal, where Finland would have been better served at some point just going in, opening with sound barrier when they had it, and throwing everything on the table, because now they've let Sweden reestablish. Sweden has a whole lot of power on their side, and now there's no guarantee Finland even caps the second point.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know what's going on in Finland's comms, but the way you see them kind of roaming around, it's like one person calls one thing, then it doesn't work, somebody else calls another, and you see Coco in this next fight, he's going to get that nano boost, and now you're going to see the sound barrier come in, and this is one that Sweden is taking advantage of early. Zebasai with 2, Chips with 1, things falling apart for Finland again as they try and push the high ground.
I think the problem here for Finland is that they really don't have a clear idea how they want to run these engagements. Sweden is catching them off guard every time. They're getting the first pick off every time. And generally speaking, they're just picking better moments to go in. So for Finland, they seem a little bit lost. Now, maybe they can power through this in a little bit with a Nano Boost, Death Blossom. Mafu can set them up with the Graviton. But Sweden has done a great job of burning all sorts of time off this clock.
Finland had 6 minutes to get the second point. Now we are down under 3. You're going to see Himsy now switch over to Genji. Do you like that decision?
I think they need to switch something up. I'm not sure Himsy is playing a world-breaking Genji, but hey, at this point, Genji's not too bad for bringing this last point. They are going to roll into point. They get split off by the Mei wall as they go in. Sweden again keeping good control of this fight. Zebo about to have a Graviton. I think he's going to use it. Graviton pulling it 3.
Yeah, it's Gravitons coming in from both sides. Himsy gets 1, Coco and Tavik go huge though. They take out the remaining members of Sweden. Nice shot there at the end. And Finland gets wiped. Things just not going well for the Finnish squad here. They had a fantastic take of the first point. Now here, the second one, they have been shut down. You're going to see Mafu actually switches over from Zarya over to Winston. So another change out of the side of Finland.
Absolutely. I think what Finland might be looking for here, there's a lot of different targets they put Nano Boost on, but Nano Boost Dragon Blade is pretty good for at least getting people off the top. There is a risk of getting hit by a Sleep Dart, which Chip Sajin very, very good at using. But for Finland right now, they're just holding back here. They're getting Speed Boost on and trying to get things off guard. They do get past that wall.
Yeah, that is huge. Once you see them get past the wall, you think they have a better chance. Taimo actually gets put to sleep there during a Death Blossom. Huge play there by Chips. IDDQD takes out 2. Oh, he just went absolutely massive on the point there for Sweden.
What an incredible sleep dart coming out from Chips there. I was just mentioning, it's like, he's known for laying good sleep darts. He did not prove me wrong. Stops Taimu in the moment, and when your Reaper, who has Nano Boost and Death Blossom, gets shut down that quickly, your push is very likely not to work. So great stuff coming out here from Sweden and Finland, going to be down to their last push here in just a moment.
Yeah, Chips and IDDQD just went massive for Team Sweden there at the end. Zebasai does have the Graviton Surge, and you're getting close to a Sound Barrier and Earth Shatter for Sweden. You do have Himsy, though, with that Dragon Blade. We'll see if he pops it out here as they try and get up top.
MC right now will be the dark horse here for Finland. Gonna have to find some way of cracking this. He will look to remove Sweden from his top end. He's getting good elevation. Gonna be looking to shift right in. And we do have the Graviton coming out here from defense. MC though doesn't care, gets the backline, takes down Chips. Looking for more. The B has been dropped by the defense, and they are swarming over Finland right now.
Himsy had nowhere to go. That Blizzard comes in, and he can't just chase down the players on Sweden. Coco picks up 2. He only gets 1 with the Dragon Blade, and now we only have 30 seconds left here, ZP. Finland, they do have an Earth Shatter and Nano Boost and a Primal Rage to work with. I think they'll be able to get back and at least contest.
They'll be able to contest, but this is their last good push was the last one where they had good positioning. Here, they're just going to have to throw their bodies onto the point and hope for the best. But here's where the look at right now. Coco with the Earth Shatter can be the decider. He can put the dagger in Finland's heart right now if they're not careful about positioning, because they do have to rush on that point.
Now you see Finland trying to take that high ground. You see Mafu jump up top. He's going to get the Nano Boost for the side of Finland. They need to get on the point, though. It's going to be Zebasai, not, how many teams have we seen? I was like, they need to get on the point. He's too busy trying to work down Zebasai, and he never makes it back.
In their defense, IDDQD had the Deadeye. It was truly high noon. It took out 3 as they were rushing into the point. But it has happened a lot where teams just, they wait a little bit too long. They don't even force overtime. But either way, it was a grim situation for Finland. And after what was a very good start, they're not able to seal the deal on second.
And I believe at the end when he's trying to work down Zebasai, he has the Primal Rage as well. He doesn't use it there. Just a little bit of a misplay from Team Finland. You can vote for your match MVP. Tweet the battle tag, Team Mobile MVP. Right now, some people you're looking out for, I believe it is Zebasai. Yes, 27-1 on Zarya. So you look at the tanks between these two teams. Mafu on Finland, 8-6. Linkser, 6-7. A lot goes more into tanks than just eliminations and deaths. But look at the guys on Sweden. Coco is 15-3. Zebasai 27-1. The guys on Sweden doing a fantastic job.
Sweden absolutely having a good recovery there. And I think what it came down to is that you talk about experience in tank play. For Sweden, they were just getting better initiations time and time again there, where Finland, they were a little bit lost. And that's a little bit to be expected in some respects, for Linkser, not a tank player by trade. Can flex to a lot of things, is an excellent player in his own right, but tanking a little bit new for him. Not so new to players like Coco and Zebasai.
And on the side of Finland, on defense, you'll see them go with Himsy on Mei and Taimu on Reaper. It's a very good setup to hold that front gate. I'm really looking at Linkser, though. You know, we talked about a little bit of his inexperience on Reinhardt. If he's going to be able to play that passive at the gate and deal with the pressure.
We'll have to see. It's one of those cases, too, where newer players that haven't played as much Reinhardt oftentimes make mistakes where they charge a little bit early. They can't read the situation, because Reinhardt's all about reading the flow of battle, where you have to know, okay, this is my time to go in. And if you misread it, it actually just turns out terribly. So something that Link's gonna have to look at moving forward. But speaking of Sweden, the Sweden offense is on the prowl.
Yeah, and they're gonna go pretty fast and aggressive. You see, IDDQD is going to be running Tracer. Tvik will be running Genji. You know, Coco gonna go with Winston. So that composition tells me they're gonna go in fast and furious. You see Coco just dive right in. IDDQD as well. He gets right to the back line.
IDDQD going to the back, looking for that early pickoff. And Sweden has gotten pretty deep here. It's a case where, even though they lose Zebo early on, IDDQD uncontested, picks up the double and is looking for more.
Yeah, he gets Zarya very low. He's going to be able to take out Mafu. That's 3 kills for IDDQD. Taimu gets 1 at the beginning of the fight. Everybody else for Finland falls. that is as easy as a break as you can get on that first point.
Absolutely, and Sweden might be feeling a little bit pumped up by that crowd as they love watching IDDQD go into the back, open things up, and now Sweden is going to have a whole lot of time, a little over 7 minutes, to bring this in and capture the second point.
This is going to be next to near impossible for Finland to hold on. IDQD having a fantastic game as well, 23-3. Now he's getting very close to that pulse bomb. They have nothing to combo with it. Chip's getting close to the nano boost as well. But I think if you're Sweden, you're going to be able to just at least dart right onto the point and then potentially take the fight. Oh, actually, it's going to be Taimu taking out Tavik there. So you're going to see Sweden just fall back and reset.
I might be wrong on this, but I think it was also Zappas doing quite a bit of damage to him there too, where Tavik got poked down a little bit and then ran into the Taimu for the finishing shot. So Zappas coming in some big Ana plays. And you take a look here at Sweden, they will the Dragon Blade up in the next fight and the Nano Boost. So seeing the Nano Blade very likely to be a thing here. IDDQD is just going to go to the backline, try and pick up anything he can. But if this starts out well for Sweden, it very well could snowball into a point B cap.
Yeah, and Coco gets his primal rage on Winston. Oh, and Sweden gets walled off the front. It's going to be IDDQD trying to go down low, make a play back towards the point. It's going to be Tavik. He's going to get Nano Boosted a little bit late there, so he doesn't get the Nano Boost with the Dragon Blade, and that may end up coming to hurt Team Sweden. It definitely does.
Hammer beating sword towards the very end there. Lynx are going in with some of the cleanup. And I can't say enough about Himsy there, where that ice wall stopped Chips from going in and powering up Tavik. And if Tavik is powered up, it might have been a very different fight.
Yeah, and you saw the Nano Boost come in a little bit late there, you know, when you saw Tavik get into the Dragon Blade. And I believe just have a little bit of a pause scenario, so we'll figure out what's going on with our teams, and then we'll get right back into the action. But from what we saw there, ZP, when the Nano Boost comes in a little bit late, like they used the Dragon Blade earlier, why even use that Nano Boost if you're Finland?
I think they were just trying to recover there towards the very end where Tavik said, okay, maybe I can still do something. It's never really quite that well coordinated, but the idea is that, all right, we can still make this happen. Unfortunately, when you don't have the Nano Boost early on, he's taken way more damage. He's lost opportunities to kill 2 or 3 people that he might have gotten. And it just shows how an ice wall can be so disruptive.
Yeah, it's quite odd, because after, I mean, they use the Dragon Blade, he gets up top, and this is after they get ice walled, and then like once they break through the wall, that's when you see the Nano Boost comes in. I think if Finland probably would have held on to that Nano Boost, used it for that next fight, things could have been much different.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we'll see how things go. Nano Boost does build pretty quickly, but again, it's just good defensive play by Himsy to break that up and go from there. Now, you take a look at this game where Sweden still has a lot of time to go forward. They're going to get multiple opportunities to build up their ults and really go for that one key push, because the upside to them, now that they had their full hold on second, they don't have to worry about having to deal with the time bank or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, Sweden does have like 7 minutes or whatnot left, but I mean, Finland had 6, and they never made it through. What did you think went wrong with Finland's attack?
Well, we touched on a little bit in cast, but I really think it came down to tank play, where their initiations were not what they needed. Sweden got the jump on them way more often than not, and it's really hard to win fights in Overwatch, especially on second point, if people are dying early on in the fight.
Yeah, they could never sustain when they tried to push in for that B point. And something we haven't seen here at all is Himsy's Roadhog. He's been a fantastic Roadhog throughout the Overwatch World Cup. Do you think that could have helped them there?
I think it could have helped them, just because Himsy is sort of a situation where you take a look at a player like Shadowburn, right, where his Genji is phenomenal, even in cases where Genji isn't. I think it's the same case with Himsy, where Himsy's Roadhog can be a really great Roadhog, even in cases where you wouldn't normally run the Roadhog.
Yeah, I think you know, his Roadhog has been so strong, but I think also what we kind of talked about it when you want him to run Roadhog, it's really been kind of Finland's downfall, so to speak, is because they haven't been too versatile. I mean, if you've been watching throughout the entire time, Finland is really stuck to that, you know, triple tank, 2 supports and 1 DPS. And it seems like at least coming into the Sweden match, they changed things up, but definitely a little bit too late.
I tend to agree with that, and the thing about the triple tank setups is that they are really good. They can catch teams off guard, but you always want to be able to switch to something else as well, especially if teams are running Reapers, are playing more conservative, not letting you get hooks off. It's switching to something that can have a different game flow can be very favorable, so you don't always want to have the Roadhog.
Yeah, the Roadhog, I feel like, is really situational like we were talking about. I would like to see it come in later in this series. But guys, we have a little bit technical issue with the game, and we're going to get it started right after this quick commercial break.
The Overwatch World Cup is sponsored in part by Intel, T-Mobile, NVIDIA, and Republic of Gamers.
What's in a name? Well, that depends on what you do with it. Put it out there. Get good with it. Like, really good. Get it on a team. Get it on a big monthly check. Make your whole city know it. Check that. The whole world. Get it on the back of a champion.
That's your name.
Better yet, become a champion. What's in the name? Well, that's up to you.
Everything that I do in my life is working towards getting on to the big stage of video gaming.
I don't want to get second place this year. Like, I'm going for first. I won't be happy unless we win.
My name is Andrew Rodriguez, and I go to University of Texas at Arlington.
Daniel Lee, and I go to University of Connecticut.
My name is David Young, and I go to school at University of Tennessee, Knoxville.
My name is Michael Udall, and I go to ASU.
Heroes of the Dorm is an amateur tournament focused on college teams, playing not for prize money, but for tuition.
This is my first year competing in Heroes of the Dorm. Gaming at first was just a hobby, but now it's kind of evolved into part of my life.
I grew up in Mesa, Arizona. Gaming was definitely frowned upon.
I would think, gee, what a waste of time. You guys ought to be studying algebra or anything worthwhile.
My parents used to hate when I played, but now they're like, this is so cool, you're going to Seattle for playing a video game.
Hello and welcome to the Heroes of the Dorm Heroic Four. Here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, 4 college teams have come to battle it out. We started over a month ago, and now we have Tennessee, UT Arlington, UConn, and Arizona State.
We all felt really good after the win, but we came here to win the whole thing, so the work's not over yet.
You don't reach that level without the dedication and the focus and the endless hours honing your craft.
It's going to take a determination and discipline, just like succeeding in anything in life.
It's intense. That's the best way to put it. Until you play the game and try to excel at it, you have no idea.
An outlet like that where students come together and share the same interests. That's what it's all about.
This was the future of esports that we imagined.
Taking a lot of damage, he blows up in a matter of seconds. Shot low on HP, but the Void with another they are going for the core. They're going to be able to save it in time, and it goes down. GG.
What's in the name? Well, that depends on what you do with it. Put it out there. Get good with it. Like, really good. Get it on a team. Get it on a big monthly check. Make your whole city know it. Check that. The whole world. Get it on the back of a champion.
That's your name.
Better yet, become a champion. What's in the name? Well, that's up to you.
The Overwatch World Cup is sponsored in part by Intel, T-Mobile, NVIDIA, and Republic of Gamers.
Welcome back to the Overwatch World Cup. Just to keep you guys updated, we had a small computer issue, but the integrity of the game has been preserved because we have that pause feature. So as soon as they get that sorted, we will resume from pause. But in the meantime, guys, we do have a lot to talk about because we had one full turn there on Hanamura, where we saw Finland assault unsuccessfully against Sweden.
Yeah, both teams had a really poor A defense. They were both completely ran through. We just saw, obviously, for Sweden, their IDDQD pretty much manhandling Finland single-handedly, just powering through them. But Finland, again, as we've seen many teams so far, struggling to close out Hanamura, and a lot of it was down to the fact that the ice walls were just absolutely on point.
I mean, it's pretty standard. We've actually run a little bit of examples of this on Hanamura as well. We can have a look at the clip in just a second, maybe, if we have a chance. We'll see. But the point is that always the wall is to stagger the enemy team, right? So a good Mei wall is always going to isolate 1 or 2, maybe even 3 people on one side of it, right? And then obviously you have yourself an isolated 6v3 situation, so it's a bit of an easy fight there as well. I mean, we can have a look at it now. I mean, we can bring this one up and we'll have a bit of fun with it, maybe illustrate to you guys exactly how it works on Hanamura. So this is Sweden's push on the first fight. I just want to point a few things out here. First of all, they're on the attack. Over here, IDDQT's already gotten into the point, right? Obviously, Taimu's still a bit of a threat to him, still an issue, and Zane's up on top. He's been skating a little bit, if you notice that as well. But he eventually does drop down, and that's where IDDQT picks him up. But notice that, look how far IDDQT already gets inside before he's been dealt with. You can usually come across the top here and straight on through. Especially if you're a tracer, obviously your blink patterns make it a little bit hard to follow you. We did see yesterday that the Chinese teams tried to work through in here and then up the top. That can be a little bit tricky to make work, but already we're in disarray here. Old mate Linkser not having a great time here. When you take the Reinhardt out of the picture, the defending team has very, very little to sort of gather up behind, and you're always going to be guaranteed a very chaotic situation here. Mafu also is very important to be looking at, but again, he'll get taken down. We can roll the clip and you can just see how it rolls through with IDDQT picking up Zane. Zane drops down. IDDQT has a lot of freedom here. You can even see Tvik as well. He's off on his own. So these two flankers now can do a heck of a lot with it. Linkser finally wakes up, but IDDQT's already massacred the rest of his team. Doesn't connect the charge, and by then it's already too late.
Just see Coco at the top there, just like, well, I've cleared the top. I got really nothing else to hit because IDDQT's just kind of killed them all already. What's going on, man?
Well, you know what,
practice from Miro.
Hey, thanks for getting us all updated. It looks like our match is ready, so we're going to give it back down to the casters and get right back into the action.
Thank you, Rachel. Going right back into the game. You see the beauty of the pause feature. We're able to just jump right back in that same situation we were in. So we can actually just take a look at who has the ultimates right now. It'll be Himzy for the Blizzard. Now you see Linkser will have an Earth Shatter. So we get right back into the action. It's going to be Sweden on the attack. Finland, a very good first push on offense. Their second push, not as well. I mean, they do not get the second point. They had 6 minutes of time. You see Sweden still with a ton of time here. 5 minutes plus. See, they're going to try and make a push through the bottom. You have Himzy up top with that Blizzard. This could be disastrous.
He doesn't quite get the ball he's looking for, but IDDQT gets them back, taking down Taimu early on. But the Blizzard could very well be coming out here in a moment from Himzy. He's still holding on to it, waiting for the right moment. And Finland, they've taken out 3 people. They might not even have to break the cold because of just taking everyone out outright. Himzy getting to conserve that key ultimate.
And that's so smart from the side of Finland to realize you have the advantage in that fight. You use your Graviton Surge there towards the end from Mafu, and then you're able to just win some of those engagements. See Taimu potentially going to switch things up here. Let's see if he brings out McCree. So Taimu's going to go over to McCree. You've seen him make some fantastic plays on this hero throughout the tournament. Now, we're going to see Sweden go up top here. They do have a sound barrier, taking a little bit of a different approach.
They are taking a little bit of a different approach, using the Mei wall to get the entire team up there. It's the Mei wall elevator, and now they're going through the left. They have a sound barrier up, so Sweden, they're going to just blitz in from this left side. But Finland, very content to stay over the top. Taimu will just be raining down shots from above. But here we go, sound barrier underway.
Yeah, but the Blizzard comes in. You're actually going to see Linkser take out 2 there. Taimu with 1. Linkser goes big, takes out another one. You see how strong that nano boost can be. Earns himself an Earth Shatter here towards the end. No reason to use it. It's going to be Finland holding on.
Finland with a great defense once more. And again, you see from the teams here where even though Sweden definitely has more experience on the tank side of things, it can still be very difficult getting in on the second point on Hanamura, because the key thing is that it's not just about winning the fight. You have to win the fight almost flawlessly. If you lose 1 or 2 people early on, the odds of actually taking it can be pretty rough. And now they have an initial threat where they have to deal with time. Taimu, though, almost getting poked down from Chips from long range. Chips and Taimu, of course, very well acquainted with each other as players.
And you're going to see Sweden go with the same means of attack. They're going to use that Mei wall to boost them up top, and now attack from this left-hand side. They will have a Blizzard, Earth Shatter, Nano Boost, and a Graviton Surge. Do you think this is Sweden's best chance to get the point?
It very well could be. They will be coming in with the Blizzard. Tvik is going to be able to zone out Finland, but the problem is Finland right now, they're so comfortable staying over the top. They're going to have a Deadeye soon. They have to do something to dive in and take down time. Maybe just IDDQT waiting McCree versus McCree, but for now, Finland's positioning is giving Sweden a whole boatload of problems where they can't comfortably get on the point.
Yeah, and as soon as IDDQT is cut off, they do not want to push on the point. Now the Mei wall is gone, but you see Taimu using that Deadeye up top. He's going to be able to take out 1, and now everything going in Finland's favor. And not looking good for Sweden. It's going to be IDQD jumping off the side, going to get a little bit of a reset here for Sweden, so they can all spawn up together, get a good push.
I feel like for Sweden here, what they really need to do is drain out as many ultimates as possible from this Finland side, and then come in with a fully charged ult bank of their own. They have a little under 3 minutes left. They have multiple pushes they can do here. They can abuse the fact that all they have to do is cap this point. But remember, if they don't cap this point, the map will end in a draw, so there is still a little bit of pressure here on the Sweden team.
Sweden stacking these ultimates. They've just not used many of the last few fights. They've just ran in, let Finland kind of take them, and now you see the ultimate starting to come in. The nano boost up top onto Coco. He gets Maywalled. Zebasai gets on the point, and you see IDDQD with a big Deadeye there. He's able to get two, and this is Sweden's best shot. They need to isolate Taimu here in the back. They need to deal with him, but you see the Blizzard coming down and the Graviton Surge coming in as well. Mafu stuck inside of it, but it's going to be Himsy taking out one, and this is what Finland may be able to hold on.
Himsy has been the raid boss that Sweden has not been able to defeat here on the second point. Great main play that really stall things out. Tvik does pick up two, and you still have Sweden moving in, but this is a trap here, X, where Himsy still just goes IDDQD. But it's a trap because the respawns from Finland are coming back in, and it's going to be rough. I mean, Sweden are doing a good job of getting extra kills. Maybe they can swing it, but it's still going to be pretty rough as they do bleed more players.
And Tvik drops his Blizzard down. He gets one player very low, chips in the point. They secure it. It's going to be Sweden taking map number one.
And what that was there, even though they were down players, it was Tvik just landing shot after shot, a tale of two Mays. But Tvik's May just a little bit stronger there, getting the plays that were needed. And again, you don't see that too often, where once you lose some players, it's really difficult to stay on and keep the progress that you need.
Yeah, you know, when Tvik got that Blizzard late in that fight and he drops it down, that's where Sweden was able to take advantage. You know, some of their players came off the spawn, they were able to get back onto the point. You saw Zebasai there towards the end switch over to Tracer just to make it back, to make an impact. And Tvik goes 38-6 there on Hanamura. Sweden looking very good.
IDDQD having a jolly time there, just laughing. That was a full-on belly laugh. He was shaking with laughter. So good showing there from Sweden, and we'll see if they can bring it forward here to map number 2, where they win that, they'll be taking home the bronze.
Finland would be going home pretty upset, not getting a medal here at the Overwatch World Cup. What do you think Finland can switch up going into Route 66?
Well, they can switch up going to Route 66. It's hard to say because a lot of Finland's troubles really just came from a lack of coordinated engagements, which really goes down to their tank play, where they don't have quite the level of tank experience. I think maybe if they can run more flankers, try and run something that puts the game into more of a disorganized state where Sweden can't clutch on their good tank play, might be a little bit better. But it's still going to be difficult because when you do run those flankers, IDDQD pretty good at cleaning them up.
Yeah, and I think a matchup on Route 66 that you'll be looking at will probably be Tvik. You know, when he runs that Genji, Taimu's going to have to run McCree to shut him down, but we'll be able to jump right back into the action. It'll be Sweden versus Finland. Map number 2, Sweden up 1-0, obviously taking Hanamura. It'll be Finland on defense here to kick things off. It'll be IDDQD, actually that is Sweden, so we have the overlays just switch, but it'll be IDDQD playing on that McCree on defense, and Tvik will be running May. So you'll see both those guys run their standard heroes here on defense. On offense, I wonder if Himsy actually sticks with that Roadhog.
Himsy sticking Roadhog, I think that's a fair guess. Now, he hasn't been running Roadhog every game, but Roadhog pretty good here, just pulling people off big Earls, getting the first pick off, and going from there. And there's a lot of also cool areas where Roadhog can go. There are tunnels on the left. Roadhog can be surprisingly stealthy for a large, loud hero, let me tell you.
But here's where it gets interesting for Finland. If they stick with this comp, I mean, how are they going to engage on top of big Earls? You're going to be relying on Himsy to get that pick early. If he doesn't, I feel like Finland's going to have a tough time pushing in.
They are relying on Himsy here, where Himsy, he's going to be pushing. He might actually be somewhat flanking. The rest of the team is going to be on the payload. And the goal here is that when Sweden engages, Himsy will be in a position to get a hook on a key player. And let me tell you, as far as Sweden goes, probably no more key player here than hooking IDDQD, because McCree, so much damage comes out from him, but he's a bit of a glass cannon, because if he gets hit by that Roadhog hook, he will be going down.
It'll be Finland's tournament life on the line here. They will be attacking first on Route 66. We'll see Himsy go up top, and I think as soon as Sweden sees this Roadhog, obviously going to play a lot more passive, you're going to see him just hide around the corner, though. Taimu's going to get some vision, figure out what composition that Sweden's running, and see where Himsy can be most effective.
Himsy right now, he's going to be a little bit patient, but anytime hook is up, he's going to take a few steps up, look for the hook. And the thing about Himsy is that he goes for, oh my goodness, what a hook. And isn't he able to get the ball through, do the ice wall on the side, but Himsy goes for those crazy low percentage hooks and hits them more often than not. not?
Yeah, and that first hook initiates the fight. Linkzer's able to take out Coco, and IDDQD picks up one, but now Taimu and Coach starting to push this payload up. It's a beautiful May wall there from Tavik, and you see some ultimates coming up for Team Sweden, so they'll have... Fantastic hook there from Himsy. Zappis and Zebasai fly in there, and it's going to be Finland continuing to move the payload. I was saying Sweden stacking up some ultimates, but Finland doing a fantastic job continuing to move the payload and stacking ultimates of their own.
Absolutely. Himsy's been opening us up. And did you see the rotation on that? Sorry, she just spun away. Oh my goodness. But here comes IDDQD on the defense, rushing down the island, trying to take on Zappis. The ice wall, though, counterproductive, stops IDDQD from finishing the kill. His own teammate, Deadeye coming from Taimu. It's 2 kills extra here from Finland.
Oh, and IDDQD is put to sleep there by Zappis. Fantastic sleep dart there. Finland wins the fight with ease. They'll advance past the first point.
I gotta say, I just feel like there was a little bit of miscommunication on Sweden's part there, where that was Tavik's ice wall, and I think it stopped IDDQD from getting that kill, so maybe the fight goes in their way. I still think Finland had more shots in their chamber there as far as ultimates, all the rest go, but still a little bit rough. But take a look at Sweden. They're going to be going to the next fight. They will have a Graviton. They will have a Deadeye. So look for Zebosai to just set up his team here. Look for that big Graviton, go from there, because it's hard to split up fully on this section of Route 66.
And did Cine just use his sound barrier for the side of Finland? I believe he had it, now down to 0. Just uses it before the fight even ensues, and Tavik's going to get one. IDDQD with another. I believe he actually did use the sound barrier there. Just a really odd play there from Cine.
Indeed, and you take a look here at Sweden. Sweden going to clean up the Finland squad. They are going to reestablish their defense right here. Coco will have Earth Shatter. They will have a Sound Bearer. So Sweden in a better shape here. The thing about Route 66 is that you don't have much time to finish out this map. Already, it's going to be a little under 3 minutes here in just a moment. So for Finland, they have 5-6 pushes here from this point, but time can quickly get away from you when trying to get through on Route 66.
Yeah, Mapu's going to have to land a big Graviton Surge here to throw the fight in Finland's favor. You see a nice Zarya bubble there, just keeping Linkzer alive. And you're just trying to see Mapu just pick out the perfect time to use this Graviton Surge. And when Taimu takes out Zabe, you may not even need it now, because taking out the enemy Lucio, not going to have that sustain. He's going to use the Graviton Surge anyway, get Zebasai stuck inside of it. They're able to take out Coco, Chips falls as well. Finland starting to win this fight.
Finland plunging forward, Mapu with the signatures are ends up with 3 kills here in this fight. Himsy with a little bit cleanup. And here's the problem here for Sweden coming out, is that this is one of the more unique features of a map in the game where the defense actually has a really hard time getting back out. There's a lot of choke points that the offense can punish them on. Sweden, I think they might have enough time to get back out, but it's going to be close as Himsy will be creeping here towards the top, looking for that hook. Just, if he could grab someone early on here as they're setting up X, it would be huge.
But the side of Sweden, they do have the Graviton Surge, Nano Boost, and Death Blossom. This could be a huge combination here to hold this. And you see the Nano Boost come out onto Tavik as he's up top, and he's just hunting down players. No Death Blossom just yet. Not a good position to use it. Now finally pops in, and he's able to get one towards the end. Had another player there. Zebasai was able to take out Zappis before Tavik could. A good hold there from Sweden, and they hold on to the Graviton Surge.
That was great for Sweden, and it was on a razor's edge too, where if they had gotten wiped maybe like 5 seconds later, Finland would have been able to stop them from even getting out. So I will say though, I think Finland, if they had abandoned the payload for a little bit, they still could have stopped Sweden a little bit harder. I think they were a little bit too focused on the objective in that particular case. And now for Sweden, they do get their positioning right back up.
Yeah, now Finland has a lot of ultimates here to use. They do have Himsy's Whole Hog, they have an Earth Shatter and a Sound Barrier here too. So see Taimu though, they're trying to get him into an advantageous position behind enemy lines. They're going to bring the payload forward, and that's going to force members of Sweden to come back. Beautiful Earth Shatter there. As soon as the enemy Graviton Surge comes in there from Linkzer, just stops the Graviton Surge from getting much of anything. But the cleanup coming in here from Finland. I believe that was a huge Earth Shatter there from Linkzer. If he doesn't land that, I think Sweden starts to win that fight.
Absolutely. There's also Himsy with the great cleanup there on Tavik, where that's one thing about Roadhog, is that even though Reaper is a counter to Roadhog and that he can chew him up, if Roadhog gets a hookup, he can still deal with the Reaper as well. There's a little bit of back and forth there, and you got to think that going forward, Himsy will be targeting Tavik a little bit more than others, as right now he's looking for it again, finds Tavik and takes him out.
Tavik is not able to get anything going against Himsy's Roadhog. We talked a little bit about it during our pause. We would see Himsy bring it out. definitely has brought out the great effect here at the beginning of Route 66. And this has been one of the most difficult portions of the map to see teams push past ZP. For Sweden, though, on the defensive end, they're on their back foot. It's been a fantastic attempt on offense here from Finland. What can Sweden do to throw things in their favor?
For Sweden, they just need to stabilize a little bit. They go in with the Graviton here from the offense. Finland trying to get anything from here. Lynxer, though, gonna go down. It's 2 kills here from Sweden, and they are gonna restabilize just a bit, and they still will be able to maintain their nano boost, and Earthshatter is hiding EQD, just chasing the cleanup. But to your question is what they have to change up here. I think really they only need one more major fight, so hold on to your ultimates and try and just get a little bit of a better engagement on Finland, catch them off guard.
I think here's the difficult part for Finland. With only a minute to go, you have no ultimates up. Sweden, they have the Death Blossom, Nano Boost, Earthshatter, and the Deadeye. So a lot for Sweden to work with, and look at the position Tavik's in. He's going to get the Nano Boost, Death Blossom over the top. Perfect sound barrier coming in from the side of Finland, but it does not keep them alive. Tavik runs right through him. As Sweden looking to close out this map.
Sweden now very close. They're about one more big team fight away from taking this, maybe 2 because of how far out the payload is. But the goal here for Finland would be very difficult to achieve. And here's hits and replay of Tavik just helicoptering to the back.
Yeah, the sound barrier comes in, but it might be just a little bit too late as Tavik comes over the top with that Death Blossom Nano Boost combo. And then his teammates get aggressive towards the front. 23 seconds left here for Finland to get this payload all the way in the distance, and the Graviton Surge comes in from the side of Sweden. They get nothing for it, so they're trained to vault. It's going to be a pick there from Taimu on IDQD at the beginning, and Lynxer does have that Earthshatter. If he lands a big one here, Finland may be able to finish this out.
And this is the final approach here for Finland. They cannot get wiped out, but Himzy and Taimu putting on a clinic. Hits Himzy with another hook, taking down Tavik, and here comes Finland. They're in overtime, but they still have a chance of taking the time. Chips versus Taimu, and oh my goodness, Chips making it a trade. Some great auto-play from Chips in a rough situation.
Yeah, Himzy using that whole hog, just trying to knock the players back of Sweden. He's going to be taken out there by Tavik, and you see people need to get closer towards the payload there for Finland. It's going to be a Death Blossom over the top for Tavik. It's going to be Mapu coming in, picking up 2, but they do not get back towards the payload. Sweden holds on defense.
Absolutely. And how heroic was Chips there towards the end, where he knew he was dead the right time, but he wasn't going to be able to get away. So he said, you know what, I'm going to go down fighting. Dove on Taimu and took him out as he fell himself. That was awesome.
And you can almost see that happening there towards the end. You know, it goes in overtime. When you go in that third-person POV, you can get a great view of the players of Finland just spreading out a little bit too far, and they get so far away from the payload that the overtime clock just ticks down. Taimu, though, the fantastic first half, 15 and 4, over 10k damage, 57% accuracy on McCree. He has been a pleasure to watch throughout the entire tournament.
Taimu is a beast, but if he does have a weakness, it's that he does overextend a little bit. Even looking at what happened with him versus Chips there, he didn't need to be that aggressive in pushing things out. Yes, it would have been great if he got Chips there, but he also could have stayed back with his team, gone for a little bit more security, and it's sort of the Achilles heel of Taimu, where sometimes he gets a little bit overeager, has too much confidence in himself, and it doesn't always work.
Yeah, remember to vote for that T-Mobile MVP, hashtag T-Mobile MVP. Right now, you're looking at probably somebody on Sweden if they're able to advance the payload past where Finland pushed it. There'll be Himzy on Roadhog. On defense time, we'll be running McCree. Nothing too different there. I wonder what Sweden does on the offensive end here, ZP. I wonder if Tavik goes with something like Genji or if he stays on Reaper.
He might stand Reaper, but I do think going to Genji would be a good idea. I think part of the reason why it would be opening Reaper here, where we usually see Tavik running more Genji on something like Route 66, is that he does know Himzy is there on the Roadhog, and having a Reaper that deal with that Roadhog, where you know his hook is down, you can just dive on him and take him out, that's really good to have. But even still, I don't know if Tavik is going to stay on the Reaper the entire game.
Well, 10 seconds left for Sweden to start forming their attack right now. IDQD on Bastion. Don't know if we'll see him change it up. He's going to go with McCree. Did not think we were going to see the offensive Bastion to match this important. It'll be Sweden on offense. We'll see if Zebasai can get anything going on Roadhog, if he can get an early first hook.
Absolutely, and early hooks, very, very important. Sebo, a player that's very comfortable in flexing a whole bunch of different roles, not a stranger to the Roadhog, but he's going up against one of the better Roadhogs in the game. And let me tell you, Roadhogs not opposed to hooking each other.
And you get a view of the Finland defense there on top of Big Earl. See a hook come out from Himzy, and he takes Tavik out of the action right away. It's a huge first pick there from Finland.
Absolutely, and Himzy just continuing on where Tavik is his priority #1. He wants to take him out, and it goes doubly so when he's on Reaper, because if he doesn't hook a Reaper, the Reaper's gonna dive in on him instead.
Yeah, it's a big first kill right there. Once Tavik dies, Sweden can't really get anything going. You do see the payload being pushed forward. Here comes IDQD on the attack. Not for long, though. Himsy pulls him out of the action. Another good hook there from Himsy.
The long arm of Himsy strikes again, finds Chips. This man right now is a monster. Actually picks up a third, just crunching save with that primary fire right to the face. Oh my goodness, Himsy having himself a game.
He cannot be stopped on Roadhog, man. Those hooks have just been so accurate, just tearing through Sweden. Now you wonder if he would have ran Roadhog in that first map, if things would have went slightly different. Now we'll see if he can keep the hot play going as he's up top. Up Big Girls has all Hog to work with. Zappis does have the nano boost. Mafu getting very close to a Graviton Surge. So things starting to go very well for Finland.
Absolutely. And Finland right now, they're pretty stabilized. They have a Graviton Surge here in just a moment. And that Graviton's coming in. Pulls and one stuck against the wall as Taimu gets the Deadeye cleanup. 3 kills for Timo and gonna look for a little bit more.
Oh, fantastic play there from Finland. They set up the Graviton Surge up top. They bring a lot of action from the left-hand side. That's where you see Sweden just turn, force only action there. Taimu sets up with a Deadeye right to the right, takes out 3 players, then finishes off save there at the end. Now Sweden on offense, they'll have the Earth Shatter and they'll have a nano boost, and you will actually see the Whole Hog and Deadeye. So now you see Sweden with the ult advantage here. They need to win this next fight.
Absolutely. Sweden now 1 minute 45 left. If they throw ults here and get nothing, it would be a disaster. Finland would be on the verge of this first point hold. And you take a look at Himsy holding on to that Whole Hog. Can't pull them out, but he's going to get hooked and turn. A taste of his own medicine. But the Earth Shatter from Linkser coming in. Knocks down 2. Finland struggling to stay in here.
Yeah, but it's going to be Sweden using that sound barrier, able to stay alive. A nice hook there from Zebasai, just trying to finish off Mafu. They deal with him. Sweden gets control. The payload just sitting left for Finland. So Sweden will get that first point.
Sweden recovering there, and that was big for them. They did have a lot of ults on the line. If they had used them and didn't get that, would not have ended very well. Finland gonna have to settle for reestablishing on a second, but take a look at the time. You don't get a whole lot of time for capturing points here, X, so 2.5 minutes for Sweden. They really need to just win this next fight and keep momentum going forward if they want to beat this.
Ooh, and Zappis takes out Chips there at the beginning, and that's gonna stall Sweden's push for a little bit until we see Chips get back into the action. And Tavik, you actually see him switch over and run Zarya, so it's been so fun to watch him play. I mean, we've seen him run anything from Genji to Hanzo, now Zarya. Just a fantastic overall player, and you're gonna see a hook there from the side of Sweden that starts this fight. The Graviton Surge comes in a little bit late for Finland. They're not able to get anything out of it. I feel like this is a mistake, an open opportunity for Sweden to take advantage.
Sweden is with an open opportunity right now. Tavik moving in, looking for that Zarya damage. And Finland, they're getting pushed back, but Taimu, he's on the flank because they'll take down Chips. And Taimu's gonna be a problem here if they don't deal with them, as Himsy takes down Zevo. And Finland now starting to get scrappy, starting to get the kills they need, even as IDDQD wins that one-on-one.
Yeah, but you're going to see Tavik take out Himsy, and he's going to get Zappis as well, and that's going to force Mafu to fall back. Does not have teammate support here, and it's actually going to be Mafu trying to fight this there. He takes out Tavik. Linkser there to fight it as well, and you see the tanks for the side of Finland just trying to hold on. For a second, I thought they were going to fall back, ZP. You see Coco take both of them out. Now I feel like Finland's going to be staggered a little bit.
Finland's going to be staggered, and now take a look at Sweden here. I don't think they're going to make the mistake Finland made, where Finland wasn't overly aggressive at defending second. You have Zebasai going right up. He's guarding one of the doorways. IDDQD also peppering in shots. So this is a case where Finland's going to find it very tough to even jump out here. But they do have the Graviton.
Yeah, Sweden does have the Graviton Surge also to hold them up top. You're going to see the Graviton come in there for the side of Finland as they go fast on the defensive attack. You see Himsy needs to get over to IDQD, not able to land that hook. He's going to use his Deadeye and get one. Zave picks up another, so Sweden gets the first 2 kills in this team fight, and now they're looking to take it to Finland.
Sweden right now, 35 seconds remaining. It is looking more likely that they'll be able to get through here. Taimu trying to be a hero, not happening. Just gets thrown off the top of that building by Tavik. And now Sweden with about 2 minutes left with a great opportunity to win this game and take that bronze medal.
Yeah, you see the goal there on Tavik's screen. That is where Sweden needs to get the payload to take this second map and this series. I wonder if they're going to need to change up their comp a little bit here towards the end, ZP. It's been working up until this point. Only 1 minute and 39 seconds to go, though. I feel like they might need a little bit more aggression.
I think that you might be right here, but I think Finland's going to keep riding this horse here. They have their players on their most comfortable heroes, and here they go. Nano boost is in. Linkser trying to go in. Going to get counter and sent. Charged right back. But still Mafu taking down Koku. and on a rampage right now, gets 2, sets up Taimu, and Finland gonna hold on for at least one more push.
Tavik getting fully charged and a Graviton Surge, trying to stay alive. He eventually falls, so he's gonna get reset with the rest of his team. They do have a Graviton Surge. They do have a Nano Boost. You're gonna see Zebasai switch over to Reaper, so you would have thought maybe that would have been Tavik, but as soon as he gets the Graviton, they need that going into the next fight.
All right, so 1 minute left here. What will it be? Will Finland hold on for one more map, or will Sweden take 3rd place? We're gonna find out here in just a moment. And here we go, Nano Boost is a 90 DQD though, gonna get sent to the ground. Great Earth Shatter coming in by Linkser to interrupt that combo, but it's still back and forth.
But Tavik keeps IDDQD alive with a big Zarya barrier there. You're going to see Sweden still have that Graviton Surge. Taimu picks up 1. You need to see Sweden deal with him. Here comes the Graviton, and look at all the players stuck inside. Zibasai can't get anything there. Finland holding on.
Finland is holding on. It is so back and forth between both teams. It is a Zarya that's right now. Tavik and Mafu both charged up. Still fighting Mafu. 47 HP, still somehow alive. Will get the Zarya regen in. Sweden, though, still a forcer in the payload. Respawn's coming in for both teams. As both just finding it. Taimu taking down Zave, though. Trying to start things off on a good note for Finland.
Yeah, Tavik, though, up top, fully charged, laying down a lot of damage there. Oh, he's going to get hooked. He's barely staying alive. The sound barrier comes in for Finland. They all get knocked down, though. Coco with a big Earth Shatter. He's dealt with quick. IDQD needs to get back towards the payload. He falls. Zave trying to make his way back. He gets knocked down there by Linkser. And Finland going to be able to hold on and force a 3rd map.
Oh man, we knew this was going to be a good series going in, and going to 3 maps X, I would not have it any other way. We are going to be settling this on Nepal.
It's a big hole there on defense from Finland. We talk about Linkser, you know, obviously new to Reinhardt, playing it here at this exhibition. Right there lands a big Earth Shatter towards the end.
And for Linkser, it's a case where even though for him, it's more just general game sense. He has a good idea of when it's a solid idea to go for an Earth Shatter, but when you're not playing Reinhardt, it's just that delay in decision making can be harsh. But Linkser's definitely improved quite a bit on Reinhardt over the course of the tournament, so he's had more and more better plays for this Finland team as time has gone on.
And I got to get a prediction here, ZP. Going into our 3rd map, who do you think Nepal favors?
It's hard to say because both teams have really explosive players. I would probably get the Sweden a little bit, despite how great Himsy's been on that Roadhog.
Yeah, 32-7 there on Route 66 really made a difference with those hooks. 47% accuracy, 19 enemies hooked. It's a lot of opening kills there created by Himsy. I think I almost agree with Reinforce. I think if it goes this 3rd map, which obviously we're going to Nepal, I would favor Finland.
It's interesting. I think you can make good arguments for both teams. One argument I'd make for Sweden is that they do have both Tavik and IDDQD, and Tavik in general has just found ways of winning maps like Nepal where he probably shouldn't, just because he is one of the most dynamic DPS players in the game. So I'd expect him to be switching up heroes quite a bit. It looks like he might be opening here on Reaper. Could definitely see his Genji coming in as well, where he's thinking about different things. Oh my goodness.
So here's one thing to keep an eye out for. Finland right now, they have Cine on Genji, and they're going to switch Himsy over to Lucio. And this is something we were expecting to see from them earlier in the Overwatch World Cup. Now bringing in on Nepal, I think that may catch Sweden off guard.
Very well couldn't catch him off guard, but that's catching me a little bit off guard is Tavik going to go Bastion here. It wouldn't be unprecedented to go Bastion on this particular stage in Nepal. A lot of teams have run it.
And remember, vote for your match MVP. Tweet their battle tag, hashtag T-Mobile MVP. If Finland wins right now, I would probably have to say I would be tweeting for Taimu. And you will see Sweden actually run this Bastion at the beginning, so we'll go on board with Tavik. And he set up as everybody lining up in front of him for Finland. They had no idea this was coming.
Absolutely not, but they probably should have, because this is not unprecedented. We've seen a lot of teams run Bastion here at this point. Not so much here in this exhibition, but just in general. IDDQD gets the back by taking down Himsy. It's 5v5 right now, but Sweden definitely keeping Finland on the back foot with this Bastion as Tavik just chews through Taimu.
Yeah, Taimu, that probably was not the best course of attack to take out Bastion. Jumping right up at Linkser, not in front of him. It's going to be Tavik cutting down Linkser. They keep running at him. It's going to be Cine trying to charge at a fantastic job by the team of Sweden, just keeping Tavik alive here in the back.
They are keeping him alive, and this is a case where he has to rely just on the Zarya. Oftentimes, Bastion comps would like running a Mercy. Teams don't really care to run Mercy on these maps right now. But for Tavik, a great opening gambit here, 4-0, about to have his tank mode up. And certainly, this has caught Finland a bit off guard.
Oh, it's just the amount of damage he's able to put down here at the beginning. And for the side of Finland, they just do not seem like they know how to attack this. You see the setup coming in for Sweden. Finland going to have to push in and get aggressive on this Bastion. And you're going to see him activate tank mode. He gets actually pinned there, but it's going to be Tavik coming right out of that. Gets two. Can he get a third? Able to take out Mafu. And Tavik putting on a show here in our third map as Bastion on Nepal. Sweden with a good first initial hold.
I gotta say, if you want to win over a crowd, just bring out this guy. People love to see Bastion in games like this, just because he's a little bit underrepresented in the pro scene. But man, when he comes out, can he catch teams off guard? And Finland right now, they're about to be in the hole to the tune of 50%. They will have some ults coming up here in a month, but Sweden still with great positioning.
And what can Finland do to counter this right now? It seems like Sweden is doing a fantastic job keeping to, well, as I said, they were keeping him alive. He just gets cut through. One way to counter it, pull out a Dragon Blade, and it's going to be Cine and Co. trying to get back towards the point. Zebasine picks up 2 big kills. You're going to see Zebasine getting onto the point there with chips, and they're able to play some good defense and hold on.
They are going to hold on, and they did lose to Vik. And the interesting thing here for Tavik is that he did end up doing the switch to something more conventional. Now that they are diving him way more in a coordinated fashion with the Genji, but he's going to stand the Bastion here because it's still working. And for Finland, they're down to their last attack. And you take a look at what they have available, it's really just a Graviton. So Mafu going to have to land the Graviton in his life here. Finland wants to stay alive in this round.
Yeah, but you got to wonder if you're going to have a follow-up from Finland. And, well, that is the answer. They do not. The Graviton comes in. They get nothing for it. It's going to be Mafu, the only one alive. Sleep Dart comes in. IDQD doesn't need to do anything. Just lets his teammates finish him off. It's going to be Sweden taking our first point here on Nepal.
All right, and there is a point where you see Bastion a whole lot on that stage in Nepal. I remember one of the older NA teams, Northern Gaming Red, was very famous for running it all the time. You go see Mangachu on that particular hero. LG ran it from time to time as well, and worked out.
This was pretty epic. He gets the sound barrier there. The tank mode takes out 2. And then right here at the end, Mafu, I mean, he can't do anything. And just a fantastic strategy coming out of Sweden here early.
And for Sweden, I like the gambit where, okay, if it doesn't work out, you switch to something different. But if Finland can't get through it, why switch? Just keep the Bastion out there, keep mowing them down. And now Finland finding themselves where one round down, not one place you want to be here in Nepal.
And yeah, you will see Finland switch things up here a little bit. You're going to have Himsy going back to Roadhog. Cine is going to go back to Lucio. So the Genji experiment, short-lived.
It's interesting because Sani at times has had a good Genji, but the knock on him as Genji is always a little bit more on the inconsistent side. Either way, though, Sweden definitely going a little bit more traditional. Tavik going to be on that Reaper, going to be looking to combo with chips. As right now, both teams just trading out poke damage on the middle. Finland a little bit more poked down, but they find Tavik early on, and that's going to let them turn the tables here in Sweden.
That is a big kill, taking out the enemy Reaper, especially when Himsy running this Roadhog. And oh, a fantastic hook. Lands it there on his inside, gets out of the way there. You see, going to be Finland here, winning the engagements early. Taimu with 2 kills. IDQD, he gets taken off the point. Finland gets control.
Absolutely, and this is also a really good map for, or stage for Roadhog, where there's a lot of sneaky areas where he can hide. He can use the middle to his advantage, hiding behind one of the 2 walls that you see there, or just going to one of the extra hallways. So Himsy is going to be a threat here where he is going to be looking for those sneaky hooks. Sweden, they're probably just going to go up the gut and try and avoid giving Himsy anything for free.
And Chips is going to get his nano boost, and you're going to see the nano boost come in for the side of Finland as well. It's going to be Linkser just doing a ton of damage there, able to take out Coco. Tavik not able to get anything for his nano boost, only picks up Himsy, but the kills going in Sweden's favor, and Taimu finally able to deal with Tavik. Takes out Mafu there at the end, but it's going to be Finland holding on and stacking ultimates.
So for Sweden here, I feel like they don't want to run resources into the next push. You just see a sort of go in, let Finland use their bank of ultimates that they have, regroup, and then have a really, really good push coming in after that. But they still have Death Blast or Graviton, so if they see an opportunity, they still might go for it.
You see Taimu use the Deadeye here early, sees 2 players, able to work down that Reinhardt shield a little bit, so it's going to force Coco to back up. They put a lot of nice damage down on him. You see Taimu just trying to hold this staircase, preventing Tavik from pushing up. You see the Graviton surge come in though. Everyone from Finland strapped inside of it. The Graviton comes out from the side of Finland as well. We got a big battle here going down on the left-hand stair. It's going to be Tavik winning that versus Taimu, but Tavik, the rest of his teammates are dead on the point. He's not able to get anything once he gets up. It's going to be Zappis dealing with him quickly. Finland playing very well here. 80% and counting. Sweden down to their last push.
Sweden will be down to their last push. And the weird thing about this is that IDQD has definitely been Tavik has definitely been diving Taimu quite a bit, but hasn't really been getting much run. Taimu has been really far in the back, making himself not an easy kill, and it's been rough, but here we go. Next fight underway. Nano Boost is out, and Finland looking to close things out in this round.
Yeah, Linkser just dives right in. As soon as he gets that Nano Boost, he's able to take out IDQD. So taking out one of the main DPS players there from Sweden at the beginning. Linkser with a charge and not able to get anything. You see, though, it's going to be Zebasai getting on the point. He is charged up. Tavik gets two. Mafu just trying to stay alive here for Finland. He will fall shortly. Yep. Not in a good position there, Mafu. Yep, there he goes. It's going to be Sweden taking the point.
And for Sweden, they have to hold on here for dear life. One more lost fight, and this round will be going the way of Finland, so everything must go right for them here. They do have the Earth Shatter and Deadeye moving into the next fight. Finland, much the same, but they have the Graviton coming up, so Mafu, who's been playing a really solid Zarya in the series, has the ability to deliver the kill here, the Sweden, on this round, if he can find the right moment.
Finland gonna try and come from the high ground here. You're gonna see Mafu potentially drop down, use that Graviton Surge, and here comes Taimu with the Deadeye, trying to make things happen, but the Deadeye coming in from the side of Sweden, so that's gonna slow things down for Finland. They're gonna have to hide, bait that out for IDQD, go a little bit slower than they expected.
All right, and here's the Deadeye in the back. Taimu able to take down Zebasai, was set up by that Graviton in from Mafu. Now it's 55. Finland not doing anything too crazy. Rolling forward, though, pushing Sweden out of the point. They pick up Tavik, and now Finland on the verge of taking this round as they're getting all the kills they need here, Hex.
Yeah, Taimu hits a flashbang there on the Coco as soon as he gets that Nano Boost, gets him weak. Finland with a good push, going into overtime. Himsey pops a whole hog, keeps Zebasai back. Finland answers right back, takes the point.
Whew. This has been a close map here so far. Both teams firing their shots at each other. And again, if I had to pick something where Sweden went wrong there, is that I just think Tavik was prioritizing Taimu a little bit too much. He was going really far deep to deal with them. And he would usually kill him in these fights. But unfortunately, the rest of his team was dying all around.
Yeah, well, I think Taimu just did a good job just staying alive for such an extended period of time. Like Tavik would dive on him and Taimu would just kind of play cat and mouse with him, bait him out on the stairs, just trying to hit a few poke shots, not really trying to like actively take him down. Taimu just stayed alive long enough that his teammates could eliminate the rest of the members of Sweden, then work their way back towards Tavik.
And it's interesting too, because one of the knocks on Taimu is that he has points where he's way too aggressive and gets picked off, but when he knows the other team is hunting for him, he can be very patient, and I feel like he's a much better player when he's in that mode, just because it's so much harder to actually deal with them, and he's always going to be there in the back.
I'll see what Tavik here does on Reaper, our third point on Nepal. He keeps trying to attack Taimu, or if he goes and plays a little bit more aggressive on the tanks. As I say that, Tavik's able to take Linkser out of the equation, but he falls right away. It's going to be Cine taking out Coco, so two big players down here for Sweden.
Sweden down some tanks here, and they're down to Beak. And now you take a look at this, where they have to back up a bit. IDDQD not going to fully give up. He's going to be in the back line down poke, but Finland definitely in the driver's seat. They have 4 people on the point, and they should get first control. So Finland in top position to Beak, going down once more. Beak really in trouble getting things going here in this round.
Nice flashbang there from Taimu, landing some more shots. IDQD is going to come up, flashbang him, take him out, but he's the only one left for Sweden here. It's going to be quick cleanup there from Finland. They get an early first hold, and I feel like Sweden, they just need to keep Tavik alive a little bit longer at the beginning of these fights. When he drops, they're not able to get anything going.
I think, yeah, it's definitely a bit of both here, where Tavik, I think, could be getting more supported by Zebosai and Chips, but he also is choosing a few poor positions to actually go in, and he's a smart player. He's going to readjust as the round goes on. But Finland, take a look at their ultimates here. They're in great position to turn this. In comes a Graviton from Sweden, though. Pulls it too. Not quite going to be as effective as they want, though.
They use the Graviton, but it's going to be Himsey in perfect position there. Takes Tavik out before the fight even starts, so that's exactly what we were talking about. They needed him to stay alive. Drops right at the beginning. A big first hook there from Himsey. You see the Nano Boost come in on the Linkser towards the end there. You think Finland needed to use that? I thought they would have won that fight regardless.
I think they would have won it regardless, but it's a case where they just wanted to be sure, wanted to take it out, but now they're going to have a little bit less in their arsenal for the next fight. But hey, you want to talk about a good hook position here. When you do have control of the point, you have a Roadhog like Himsey. Himsey's going to be looking for those hooks into the pit here. Sweden, they have a Nano Boost, not a whole lot else, so we'll see if they can take this fight, but if they don't, they're going to be down to their last after this.
Yeah, you're going to see the Nano Boost come in on it to Vic. He gets Earth Shatter, then pinned up against the wall. 40 HP, just trying to stay alive. It's going to be Chips able to take out Linkser at the beginning. You see Tavik earn himself the Death Blossom, and he has 2 players to his left. Wonder if he's going to like to use it here or save it. You see Coco doing a nice job blocking some incoming damage. Sweden takes the point. Love that Tavik held on to that. It's going to be Taimu, though, takes out Chips at the beginning of this fight. So now you may see Sweden just push on the point aggressive.
And here's the thing is that Finland, all they have to do is win one more fight to take this. Himsy with a big hook on the Tavik takes him down. It is a brawl on the point, but IDDQD cannot get picked off here by Taimu. McCree versus McCree. IDDQD on the bull, able to dodge, gets away with his life. Oh my goodness, but Finland's still pushing forward. They're going to recap this, and Sweden going to be against the wall, just desperately trying to put this in overtime as Finland on the verge of taking this round.
Yeah, and Linkser gets that nano boost, pushes forward and takes out 2. That's going to slow down the push up Sweden even more. It's 95% and counting for Finland. You're going to see Coco get on the point there for Sweden. They do have the Graviton Surge. See if they can get there and make something of it. Mafu's going to be able to get that first pick for a save. So there you see the supports dropping from Sweden. It's going to be very difficult to win after that. Everybody falling. Zebesai gets cleaned up. Finland takes another point here. 1 point away from taking our bronze decider.
All right, and I gotta say, Sweden literally backed themselves into a corner there. They went into that underground, and Finland was just looking at that and goes, okay, we're totally fine with this. We're just gonna sit here, poke at you as you try and get out, take advantage of the fact that you're all stuck in a tiny room, and that's gonna be it. So now Finland on match point here. One more round, and they will be taking third over Sweden.
Just look at that damage output from the side of Finland. You see the adjustments coming in from Sweden. It has just not been enough. And you know, the key matchup, at least for me coming into this one, Taimu versus IEDQD, McCree on McCree. Taimu right now 34-8, IEDQD 15-7. Sweden really needs him to go big here if they're going to come back.
And a little bit of lucky roll the dice here for the Finland squad. It could have been the first map, the Village, where we could have seen more Bastion play come from Sweden, but instead we're going into the Shrine. So this is a good roll here for Finland as they try and close out Sweden.
Yeah, when IDDQD switches over to May, it seems like they're just really having a lot of trouble with Himsy's Roadhog. Very nice May wall there coming in. It's going to block Himsy in, give the Tavik the opportunity to just take him out with ease. A good adjustment here from Sweden.
Man, they do pick up the first 2 kills, and the May right now giving them more control over this fight. But it's Finland coming right back in. Taimu is still alive. He's always a threat while he's still up. And McCree even deadlier as the fight breaks down. He grabs Zave and is looking for more.
And Taimu just trying to keep this point alive here for Finland. Doing a nice job just extending it out. He gets walled off. It'll be Sweden taking the point. But here come the reinforcements for Finland.
In fact, Sweden, they're not able to take the point. It was close, but
Finland,
wow,
they get off of it.
They pushed them off. Sweden did not like what they saw, and here comes Finland. Reestablished Deadeye out from Taimu early in the fight. Happy little skulls popping up. Not able to convert, however, as Sweden. What a Deadeye shot towards the end.
Yeah, Zebesai thinks they baited out Taimu's Deadeye, but just goes a little bit too early there. Taimu's able to take him out. That could have got dangerous for Sweden. They were on the point, got off of it, thought the reinforcements were coming too strong in for Finland. Then they get back on and take it. You see Finland coming in this next one. They'll have the Nano Boost and Earth Shatter. Sweden has an Earth Shatter and Death Blossom of their own. So look to see Tavik just trying to get an advantageous position. IDDQD can just ruin the Finland push here. He puts a great May wall up.
And there's the wall right now. It puts Linkser all alone, just iced out there. Linkser falling immediately for 65 for the Sweden side, and IDDQD just looking to move forward, control the fight, throwing out icicles, and for now, Sweden getting all the kills they need, and they're in a great position now, X.
Yeah, Sweden's gonna hold on there for that push, first push from Finland, and you actually see Finland switch things up. So Himsy's gonna go off of Roadhog, and he's gonna switch it over to Reaper. I like that decision when you see Sweden have the Reaper and the May. I feel like you need one of your own.
Absolutely, and I think this is a good stage for May in general. There's no doubt about it, just because of the way it's set up where the wall can split things off pretty nice and easy. But you take a look at Finland here, they do have 4 ultimates in their war chest, so they're going to be able to come in and break this open here in a moment. But it's an ultimate showdown. Here we go, both teams going at it.
On as soon as the Graviton comes in, Sweden uses the Nano Boost. Tavik pops the Death Blossom, gets 2 more, gets 3 kills in this push. And it's going to be Sweden holding on. They hold on to their Graviton Surge and the Blizzard of their own with 80% in favor of Sweden. Things are looking good.
Things are looking very good. And Zebosai right now will have Graviton here for the next fight. We'll be able to set it up.
You see the replay there. It's Tavik picking up one at the beginning. Linkser coming in on a charge there, trying to get into that Graviton Surge, and then he picks up 2 with the Death Blossom. Here comes the final attempt from Finland.
Finland moving in, they have no more time. Himsy though immediately takes that chip, spins right in, picks up 3. It's Himsy opening the door for Finland, and they are not going down so quietly, even as IDDQD tries to freeze them out.
And IDDQD connects with 3 or 4 players there in his Blizzard, just no follow-up there from Sweden. And now we talked about the good position that Sweden's in. They have no ultimates. Finland gets the point back. Luckily for Sweden, Finland has nothing to work with of their own.
And this is where Finland, they can start building this back. They have to win every fight from this point forward, but it's effectively reset here between the two teams. It's going to be a relatively helpless fight to start things out. Speak right now going to get pushed back a bit by the Winston play, but Finland has to be careful not to be over-aggressive. They are over-aggressive. Linkser is down, and Sweden now the 6v5 opportunity to take this round and bring us to a final deciding round 5.
This is where Sweden can win it. Chips has the nano boost. He puts it on into Tavik. Beautiful Maywall coming in from IDQD, just chasing down Mafu. Has Taimu in front of him, a swift punch to the mouth. Takes him down, and this is where Sweden looks to extend this one into a final point.
And right now, Sweden doing a good job of that. Tavik gonna spin, looking for the final bit of cleanup. Linkser's on the point, he's nano boosted, not gonna be enough. And Sweden on the verge of sending this to a round 5. They get control of the point, and no members of Team Finland in sight.
Our bronze medal decider will go down to 1 point. Our final map of Nepal. These two teams, such heated rivals, playing each other so close. Tavik goes absolutely ham in that one on Reaper. 44-12 this moment in time. Taimu, a little bit of a slower point there. Still on a good pace though, 39-10. I feel like they need to hit for him to go big here in this final one. And do we think we see Bastion come out yet again from Sweden?
I think Bastion is very much a possibility, since I believe we are on the Village stage once more, or are we on the Village stage? I think we might have gone thrown back to Sanctum.
Yeah, we're actually going back to Sanctum here, so we won't see the Bastion come out for Sweden. We'll see Tavik stay on Reaper. IDQD will be running May. Himsy will switch back over to Roadhog. There'll be 1 point to decide this match. We'll see the initial push. Look for IDQD to go big, putting down a crucial Maywall here at the beginning, trying to separate Finland.
Right now, it's Finland playing the point a little bit more aggressively, wanting to get the objective, but here comes IDDQD. Ice Wall is out, but Coco already down in this fight. Both teams trading out, both down tanks, 5v5, as Finland still pushing Sweden back a bit. As Taimu unchecked on the perimeter, able to put Finland in scoring position.
Yeah, they're going to have to deal with Taimu. They're not going to be able to let him just sit back here and just pop shots off from range. Finland gets the point here. Initially, Linkser building up quickly towards an Earth Shatter. Sweden, they're going to stick with that same composition. And how long do you think they try this ZP before they make a change?
It's hard to say. I think they'll go with this for at least another 2 or 3 pushes, but after that, I think IDDQD still might go to the Korea picks are up. Tavik might even bring out the Genji, we'll see, but look at Himsy creeping to the side, looking for that all-important hook, finds Tavik, pulls him in, and takes him down.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful Ana grenade there from Zappas as well onto Tavik, so he could not get that healing from range. Things fall apart for Sweden. They jump off the side, just trying to spawn with the rest of their team. A good hold there from Finland.
Okay, if we were going to be seeing a switch up for Sweden, it would probably be after the next push. You take a look at IDDQD and Tavik. Tavik has his Death Blossom up now. IDDQD should get Blizzard up in the next fight. But if they get goose egged here, X, I absolutely expect them to swap out. So Finland, big fight coming up. Mafu with the Graviton could set up Finland very well here.
Yeah, Mafu can land this Graviton as soon as Sweden uses the nano boost that they're working towards and the Death Blossom. It could be huge. And you see they're actually going to use the nano boost onto Linkser here at the beginning of this fight. The Graviton comes in from Sweden. Mafu just trying to stay alive here, looking at the ground, seeing if he's on it, but it's going to be Tavik coming in with the Death Blossom. Grabs 3. Himsy pops his whole hog, and Finland able to hold on here. It's just going to be chips by the point for Sweden, and he will be dealt with quick. The hook comes in, takes him out. Now you think you need to see an adjustment here from Sweden.
You would think so. They haven't changed anything, though. And you take a look at Sweden. This is going to be their final attempt. Finland on the verge of taking this 3rd place decider. Sweden with their last attempt coming up. Will IDDQD be able to make things chilly and put Sweden here in a chance to win this round?
Yeah, Taimu uses his Deadeye there just to force Sweden back, so he couldn't do a little bit of a bum rush there, trying to take advantage of his teammates coming off the spawn. Linkser going in with a charge. IDQD blocks it with a Maywall. You're going to see a sound barrier come in there for the side of Finland. It's going to be 2 kills at the beginning for Finland. Mafu trying to make his way back towards the point, but some kills going in favor of Sweden here.
All right, so Sweden backs against the wall, able to recapture the point. Finland not winning this one just yet. But ladies and gentlemen, Finland, if they just win one more fight, that is going to be it. So Sweden must be perfect from here on out. This is getting tense.
99-0. Let's see if Sweden can make this comeback. Be so devastating for Finland to get so close and fall apart. You see Tavik has that death blossom. He gets right into Linkser's face, pops it, gets the nano boost halfway through, and then beautiful Maywall there from IDQD. It's going to be Himsey pulling Tavik closer. Not the one you wanted to pull in. Tavik gets 2 more. Sweden initially with a good first hold.
Tavik going full beast mode there. He had all the support behind him. They let Tavik fly. Sweden now at 40%. They need about 2 to 3 more fights. Finland, they need just 1. But this is where pressure comes into play. This is where nerves come into play. What team will set up their country for national pride?
And Sweden is going to have a lot of control in this next fight. They're going to have a Blizzard and a Graviton Surge. I feel like Himsey needs to go big here, get a first kill, and oh, he is snuck behind an enemy line. So sneaky. Just waiting to get one of these players low. Coco is definitely spotted now. The Graviton comes in. He's going to be able to pull Tavik, not able to finish him off. And it's going to be Chips able to get 2 for Sweden. Sweden still holding strong.
Sweden is doing it right now. They are effectively 1 fight away. The next fight very well could decide it all. Will Sweden complete the comeback here? It's all going to come down to this.
Tavik has the Death Blossom. Coco with an Earth Shatter. Finland has a Nano Boost. Linkser with an Earth Shatter of his own. So you're going to have to see those 2 combine for Finland to get in and make a push.
And here comes Finland right now. They know this is their final attempt. Zappis will be opening with the Nano Boost. And here it is. Nano Boost is out. He goes down immediately. Sweden taking down that all-important player. And it's IDDQD freezing things out. Takes down Zappis. And Sweden done it. They're so close here, X.
Yeah, it's going to be Himsey on the point, just trying to refuel for Finland. Needs to stay alive. Gets Mafu there in support. Coco gets the Nano Boost. It's going to be a Graviton coming in from Mafu, but it is not looking like it's going to be enough. Taimu needs to get back towards the point, just trying to stay alive. Zappis coming in support, trying to keep him up, and it's going to be Finland going with a stall comp here, just trying to hold on.
This might be Finland's last moment. Sweden holding strong. Have they done it? No members of Finland's up. And Sweden takes it. They win the bronze medal.
Finland was up 99-0 there, ZP, at the end. And Sweden storms back, able to get into the point and hold on. Things just fall apart in the worst possible way for Finland. Tavik went absolutely crazy there in that last map.
Absolutely, and Sweden was just supporting him. They put everything on Tavik, and Tavik delivered. No better example of that when he had the Nano Boost, roll forward, got hooked, didn't matter, took out 3 people, and put Sweden with the momentum that they needed.
You just see the guys on Finland absolutely stunned. What an incredible match to kick off this final day of the Overwatch World Cup. Let's go to Rachel and the boys of the Cadets to get their thoughts.
Woo!